In 1970, Chevrolet unleashed a muscle machine called the Chevelle SS 454, and the automotive world was never the same. Everyone knows its raw power, but few realize this. Beneath the shiny paint and thunderous roar lies a series of secrets buried for decades. This wasn't just a fast car, it was a legend born from bold decisions, broken limits, and even a few clever tricks by Chevrolet itself. Join us as we uncover 10 shocking truths about the 1970 Chevelle SS 454, secrets that even seasoned car guys might not have heard before. Number 1. 396 was just a name. The real heart was a 402. Let's kick things off with a secret that fooled just about everyone. In 1970, when buyers walked into a Chevy dealership and ordered a Chevelle SS, they thought they were getting the iconic 396 cubic inch V8. That's what the badge said. That's what the window sticker said. That's what the sales brochure said. But it wasn't true. Under the hood, Chevrolet had quietly enlarged the engine. Instead of 396 cubic inches, they bored it out to 402. It was a better, stronger motor, but Chevy never updated the name. Why? Because 396 already had street cred. It was a trusted name that had carried the SS badge through the late 60s. Renaming it might have caused confusion or even turned buyers away. So they left it alone. No announcement, no fanfare, just a silent upgrade. And what an upgrade it was. The standard version cranked out 350 horsepower. The legendary L78, that one pushed 375 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. It could do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds and reach 140 miles per hour without ever being the big engine most people never knew. But now you do. And it's only the beginning. Because the 1970 Chevelle SS was full of surprises like this. Number 2. A bold new look that fooled everyone. At a glance, you might have thought the 1970 Chevelle was a brand new generation. And honestly, you wouldn't be wrong to think that, because this wasn't just a facelift, it was a full-on transformation. Chevy gave the 70 Chevelle an entirely new body, with fresh sheet metal from bumper to bumper. The design was sculpted, confident, and aggressive. It had what enthusiasts call the classic Coke bottle shape. Tight through the midsection, flared out at the wheel arches. The kind of stance that looked like it was flexing even when standing still. And then there was the front end. Sharp, wide, and loaded with presence, it featured quad headlights. 4 of them, used here for the final time before Chevy moved to 2 in later years. Fans still argue this was the best-looking Chevelle ever built. Move to the rear and you'll find something even sneakier. The taillights weren't just redesigned, they were hidden inside the chrome bumper. Why? Federal safety laws had just changed, requiring bumpers to survive a 5 MEF impact. So Chevy's engineers got clever. They kept it clean, stylish, and compliant, all in one smart move. With a length of 201.2 inches, width of 75.3, and curb weight pushing 3,400 pounds, this was no small street cruiser. But it looked fast. It looked mean. And it made the 1970 Chevelle SS stand apart from anything that came before. Number 3. Muscle on the outside. Luxury on the inside. Most folks think of the 1970 Chevelle SS as a bare-knuckle street brawler. Loud, fast, aggressive, and it was. But here's what might surprise you. It was also a refined, well-dressed cruiser with luxury in its DNA. Step inside, and you're greeted by high-back bucket seats, not a flat bench. Each seat gave the driver and passenger their own defined space, wrapped in sporty comfort. The cabin didn't feel like a stripped-down race car. It felt upscale. It felt intentional. Shiny chrome accents, fine trim details, and a sleek dash layout made the interior pop. And the instruments? Chevrolet didn't hold back. A full tachometer came standard. So did a 160-mile-per-hour speedometer. Most rivals only went up to 120. This car didn't just go fast, it looked fast, even standing still. And the luxury didn't stop there. Every SS came standard with an AM/FM radio at a time when most cars only had AM paint options. You had choices. 15 bold colors were available, from misty turquoise to forest green. But if you wanted to go even bolder, Chevy offered Hugger orange and Daytona yellow as special orders. And those signature dual racing stripes? They weren't just for show, they were a statement. This wasn't just a muscle car. It was a muscle car with manners and serious style. Number 4, the LS 6454, when GM cut the chains and Chevy let it rip. For years, General Motors had a rule that frustrated muscle car lovers everywhere: no engines bigger than 400 cubic inches in their mid-size cars. It was a quiet corporate policy, meant to keep things safe, simple, and probably a little boring. But in 1970, that rule was finally lifted, and Chevrolet didn't waste a second. Almost overnight, they dropped the biggest, baddest engine they had, the 454 cubic inch V8, into the Chevelle SS. It was a moment of pure rebellion, and it gave birth to something legendary. The 454 came in 2 flavors: the LS5 with a stout 360 horsepower, and the LS6, which was something else entirely. With 450 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 500 pound-feet of torque, the LS6 wasn't just powerful, it was borderline outrageous. With a 4-speed manual and sticky tires, the Chevelle SS LS6 could hit 60 miles per hour in just 5.4 seconds. Quarter mile? 13.4 seconds flat. That kind of performance in 1970 wasn't just quick. It was ferocious. Ford and Mopar fans suddenly had a serious problem on their hands. Chevy had gone from holding back to holding nothing back. And with the LS6 under the hood, the Chevelle SS wasn't just a street car anymore. It was a weapon. Number 5. Extremely rare and only getting rarer. By 1970, Chevrolet had produced over 442,000 Chevelles. But here's the twist. Only 62,372 of those wore the SS badge. And fewer still had the legendary 454 under the hood. Just 8,773 Chevelle SS models rolled off the line with a 454 cubic inch V8 that year. That includes both the LS5 and the fire-breathing LS6. And when you break those numbers down by body style, coupes, convertibles, and El Caminos, the actual count for each becomes razor thin. Now think about this. It's been over 50 years. Many of those cars were raced, wrecked, stripped, or lost to time. Some were abandoned in barns, others were parted out or chopped up. A few were even cloned, turned into tribute builds that look like SS 454s but aren't the real deal. And the ones that are real? They've become priceless. Back in the day, a properly equipped LS6 Chevelle could cost up to $3,991. A hefty sum in 1970. Adjusted for inflation, that's over $31,000 today. Not exactly cheap for a car with no AC, no power windows, and a mission to eat asphalt. But for those who had the money and the nerve, it was worth every penny. And today, those survivors are pure gold. Number 6, a Hollywood star in its own right. Some cars make cameos. The 1970 Chevelle SS, it steals the show. This wasn't just a machine built for the street. It became a silver screen legend. If you thought Vin Diesel's Black Charger was iconic, think again. The Chevelle SS 454 showed up across multiple Fast and Furious films, carving out a starring role of its own. In the original Fast and Furious, Dom Toretto rides off into the Baja sunset behind the wheel of a flame-red Chevelle SS. By Fast and Furious 4, it's back. this time in a sleek gray. It roars again in Fate of the Furious, and most recently reappears in Fast X, now part of Dom's family legacy. But the Chevelle wasn't just a one-franchise wonder. In Dazed and Confused, Matthew McConaughey's character, Wooderson, cruises around town in a real LS5-powered Chevelle, looking cool and sounding even cooler. It's raw, unapologetic muscle, just like the film. Jack Reacher? Tom Cruise gets behind the wheel of a red SS 396 and leads police on a high-speed chase through Pittsburgh. And in John Wick, Chapter 2, Keanu Reeves accepts a green Chevelle SS 396 as a gift. Of course, it doesn't survive long. It's a John Wick movie, after all. Few muscle cars ever become cultural icons. The Chevelle did it with style and thunder. Number 7. Fakes everywhere, so buyer beware. With all the fame, all the power, and all the movie magic, it's no surprise the 1970 Chevelle SS 454 became one of the most cloned muscle cars of all time. And here's where things get tricky. Starting in 1969, the SS was no longer a separate model. It became an option package. That means the VIN, normally a car's fingerprint, doesn't tell you whether a Chevelle is a real SS or just dressed like one. So how do you spot the genuine article? First, check for matching numbers. The engine and transmission should match the factory records. Then there's the hardware. Real SS models had the heavy-duty F41 suspension, a 12-bolt rear axle, and specific dash components that don't come cheap. The rarest clues? The protector plate and original build sheet. These were factory-issued documents that told the whole story. What engine it left with, what options it carried, even where it was built. Problem is, most of those papers are long gone. That's where tribute cars come in. Some are honest recreations. Others, not so much. With reproduction parts, decals, and even fake cowl tags flooding the market, it takes a sharp eye, and often a real expert, to know what's what. So if you're in the market, do your homework. Because not every Chevelle with SS stripes is the real deal. Number 8. From affordable muscle to six-figure gold. Back in 1970, a brand new Chevelle SS 454 might have cost you just under $4,000. Today, that same car, if it's the real deal, could buy you a house. Let's talk numbers. A well-kept SS 396 from 1970 now goes for anywhere between $67,000 and $122,000, depending on condition. But if you're lucky enough to find a true SS 454 with the legendary LS6 under the hood, you're stepping into a whole different ballpark. One in rough shape might still command $83,900. A pristine, showroom-quality example? Upwards of $220,000, and it doesn't stop there. At auction, we've seen hardtops sell for $440,000. Convertibles? $528,000. Even $572,000. The jaw-dropper? A one-of-a-kind LS6 drag car built for NHRA legend Ray Allen. It sold for a record-breaking $1.24 million. That car had just 61 original miles and was built to win, not to cruise. Even rusty shells with no engines are bringing in serious money, if they can be proven to be real LS6s. Why? Because people know what these cars mean. They're not just muscle. They're milestones. So if you've got one sitting in a garage, treat it well. If you're looking to buy one, bring your wallet. Because this muscle car, it's now collector gold. Number 9. Rightfully crowned King of the Muscle Cars. Every era has its champion. And in 1970, that crown didn't go to a Mopar or a Ford. It went to the Chevelle SS 454 LS6. This wasn't just another muscle car. It was the first production Chevy to run the quarter mile in the 13 seconds. That's right. It could storm down the strip in just 13.4 seconds. And in the world of street racing, running in the 13s was the holy grail. It meant you didn't just show up, you ruled. And the numbers backed it up. The Dodge Charger with the 426 HEMI made 425 horsepower. The Ford Torino Cobra Jet equipped with the 429, churned out 370 horses. Solid machines, no doubt. But the Chevelle SS? It unleashed 450 horsepower and a brutal 500 pound-feet of torque. It wasn't just fast, it hit like a sledgehammer. Even with a curb weight pushing 4,000 pounds, the LS6 Chevelle launched like a rocket and didn't let up. That perfect blend of raw horsepower and pavement-twisting torque gave it an edge that no other factory muscle car could match. On paper, on the street, and on the drag strip. It didn't just earn respect, it earned the title King of the Muscle Cars. Number 10. The Legend Reborn, in Carbon and Thunder. You'd think a muscle car like the Chevelle SS 454 would be lost to time, frozen in the glory of 1970. Think again. Thanks to Trans Am Worldwide, the Chevelle is back. And it's louder, faster, and bolder than ever. They call it the Chevelle 70/SS, a modern tribute built on a Camaro chassis wrapped in retro styling and sculpted from lightweight carbon fiber. It looks like the past. But under the skin, it's all 21st century muscle. The base model cranks out a healthy 450 horsepower, matching the legendary LS6. But that's just the beginning. Step up to the 396 Heritage Edition, and you're looking at up to 900 horsepower, depending on whether you go supercharged or twin-turbo. Still not enough? The crown jewel is the limited LS6454. Only 25 will ever be made, each one packing a monstrous 454 cubic inch V8, capable of delivering up to 1,500 horsepower with dual turbos. That's not just a nod to history, it's a full throttle salute. Custom paint, manual or automatic transmission, hardtop or drop top, it's all up to you. And while it may be a modern machine, one look at the lines, the stance, the soul, and you'll know exactly what it is. The Chevelle isn't gone. It just came back to remind the world who started it all. And there you have it. 10 unbelievable secrets behind the 1970 Chevelle SS 454, a true icon of speed and American culture. Which fact surprised you the most? Or have you ever seen an SS 454 in person? Drop a comment below, because it's your stories that keep this legend alive. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next journey into the world of classic machines. See you next time, where speed, history, and passion come together.